This is Lee with 82 Gaming 12 here on YouTube channel Sunsliver 75. This will be video 8. It will be the beginning of the 1300 turn, the 1 o'clock turn. The weather is clear. That doesn't change in this scenario. So the next thing to do is for both players, both armies, to perform the initiative phase. So let's roll a die for each side and determine who has the initiative. Okay, so we've got a 7 and a 5. And so there's no random event. The British are going to have the initiative because one thing, Wellesley, his CIM is a 3, so that becomes a 10. So they, of course, will end up with more points or a higher die roll, modified die roll, than the French, who know as a CIM of 2. So they will have a 7. With a 10, the British will have 2 orders. And all of this is found here on the map. Well, not a map. It's on the chart, the record track. And so it's all right here. Here's the CIM, and then the number of orders based on the modified die roll for the British and then for the French. So it's all right there on that chart. And that's the same chart that's used in the Vimiero battle. So that means the British have 2 orders to give, and the French with 7 modified die roll also have 2. Now the British won the initiative, so the French have to assign their attack orders first. And then the British can determine whether or not they want to go first or allow the French to go first. So let's take a look at what we have going on. The French have 3 units, counters. They've got a battalion, okay, the 3rd line of the 66th. And they have a company of, let's see, this is Legion du Mildy. And they actually have rifles. And I think they are probably an SCD. No, they're not. Okay. They can throw out a skirmisher. So can the, let's see, is that the line? Yeah. Linné, 66th Linné, the 3rd Battalion. And then we have the Hanoverian Legion, and they're also rifled, armed. They've got that pink box there. So that's what we've got, and they're actually attached to Huno, and he's allowed to attach them to other brigades. So, and they come in, of course, across this part of the map where all the other French units have come in. And so, last turn I threw out skirmishers for the British. So, the French will be looking to do the same. And really, this should have been done at the very beginning. And it's just something that I overlooked. And I had probably, let's see, I've had several turns to do it. And I just failed to do it. It's pretty vital for your success to have those skirmishers. You're really at a disadvantage when you don't. I think this guy is kind of in between. Put him right there. So this artillery unit, I need to mark with a low ammo. Ammo low. So I need to find that. There it is. So more than likely, the next time they fire, they're going to be, there's a 50% chance that they're going to be ammo no, out of ammo. Once you go ammo low, according to the chart, if you roll anywhere from 0 to a 49, you're going to be out of ammo. So once they ran low, there's a good chance, I guess, that they were going to just run out completely, and then they'd have to get onto a road, limber, and then get onto a road that is traced back to a supply source. So they've got two supply sources. One is right here. Let's turn the camera just a little bit. There you go. You see it right here. The French, I believe their supply is right here. Supply source. So there that is. All right. So I want to be sure and remember to mark units that become ammo low, artillery wise. So, okay. The French have a lot of their cavalry over here in this area are not in normal morale. So disordered, broken, shaken, disordered. So that part of their flank, or uh, well, their left flank is pretty weak at the moment. And then up in here, uh, they're really outnumbered. These forces that are here on the right flank are really outnumbered. This unit in here is actually a British cavalry. So they're shaken. A couple of turns ago, they made a charge and passed through the French line there and ended up kind of trapped in behind the lines, and so they're still trapped. So let's get started here. With the French, we have to place their orders whether or not they're going to be attack or reserve. They've they need to kind of regroup. They really don't have anywhere that they can go. They're kind of got their backs against the edge of the map there. Delaborte, I could give him an attack order. He does have Brenier's replacement right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, he's within command range. And then the other leader, he's actually with. I think. Is that, or is that, let's see, is that, yeah. Tomieres. There's left off the S or the ES. Probably not enough room on the counter. So that, of course, could be an attack order. So I think we're going to give an attack order to Delaborte. And Loison, he's kind of, what's he doing in kind of a, in between the two hexes? Okay, so Solanac, I guess his replacement came in. Charlot and Patet. And then I have Kellerman. Kellerman is in charge of the reserve. Kellerman has a 3. So I think maybe I'll gamble in being able to give him an order. Probably not a very good chance. But he's within Huno's range, and Huno can help with that. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, so we're going to give an attack order here to Louis Soul right there, and I'm not for sure if at this point the British have to go ahead and place their 2 orders, or if the French go ahead and roll for orders through. Well, we have the command attachment phase first. Really, the only. Well, let's see. Um, the only thing we have are 2 artillery pieces, and they're not going to move. So the only other pieces that we would be attaching would be the ones that are coming on the board. But they are actually just arriving, so we won't attach them yet. Okay, so we have the order phase, and then we have the order initiative phase. So I guess the French are going to have to place their orders, and they want to place an attack order. Wellesley wants to place an attack order over here with Anstruther. Who else do we have? Oh, Fane. Fane's over here. So we're going to place it with Anstruther. And the other one, I think maybe we'll go with Ferguson. Yeah. Ferguson. So the British are going to attack here, and everybody else is going to hold their ground. We'd kind of liked. I was thinking about possibly having Hill push here and get in this scrub and harass this cavalry and force them to back up and really put a lot of pressure on the French left. But little concerned that some of that cavalry is going to recover their morale states and then would be in a position to charge, reaction charge, if nothing else. So, okay, now the French will attempt to gain command or gain orders through initiative. So, let's take a look at what we have here. Somewhere here we've got Magneron, okay, right here. Now, Huno can provide some assistance in the role for command or for orders, not command, but orders, using his efficiency rating. His leader initiative modifier. So, make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so you've got to check the order initiative from the highest command level to the lowest. That is, corps checks before division, division before brigade. Now, a subordinate leader that is in command cannot check for orders initiative if any superior leader other than the OC in his chain of command has already received an order or checked for initiative. To check for order initiative, the player specifies the type of order and rolls one die. If the result is less than the leader's initiative modifier, then the leader receives the order. If the result is greater than or equal to the LIM value, then the leader does not receive the order. So a corps leader marked with an orders marker must pass an orders check in order to apply the order to his entire corps. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so overall commander influences battle by lending his LIM to subordinate leaders as a bonus. The overall commander may add his LIM value to a number of subordinate leaders equal to the overall commander's ER. So, Huno has an efficiency rating of 1. So if we take a look here, okay, so the two here on the bottom is his leader initiative modifier. The smaller number, 1, is his efficiency rating. So he can provide his leader initiative modifier to 1 leader. Okay, each turn. Doesn't matter where they're located, anywhere on the battlefield. So he wants to give it to Kellerman here, not to Magaron. So let's see, Magaron is a division commander. Kellerman Well, Kellerman looks like, yeah, Kellerman is actually a higher rated general. He's a division, shows Magleron as a brigade. I don't know if that's a typo or not. Shows him as a general of a brigade, and yet he's got 2 brigades under his command, commanded by majors. Okay, so that means Kellerman has got to roll first. So all right, so Kellerman is right here, and Huneau is over there. So Huneau has a 2, so he can add his 2, his leadership initiative modifier, to Kellerman's. Kellerman has a 3. That's a bottom left number. So that's a 5. So in order to pass and get an order, which he wants to get, I think we want to give him a reserve order. So in order to get that reserve order, he's got to roll a 4 or less. All right, let's see what they rolled. Rolled a 5, so did not get the order. So he failed. Now he can still move, but he's going to be out of order. Okay. Next, we have Magleron. And there he is. Now he doesn't get to use Huneau's LIM, because Huneau only has capability of using that to influence the battle with 1 commander. So he's going to have to get a 2 or less. Ooh. And, oh, I didn't say what order I was going to give him. Okay, I'll just roll a dice here. 1, 2, or 3, he gets attack. 4, 5, or 6, he gets a reserve. Rolled a 1, so he's going to have an attack order. Okay, so he has an attack order. At the moment, he doesn't have any cavalry that can attack. All right, so that takes care of all of the British. Now, let's take a look at the British. They only have, I believe, 1 leader. I don't think. Let's see what he's got over here. Yeah. They only have 1 leader that has an LIM, and that's Ackland right here. He's the only one. And Wellesley doesn't even have an LIM. So Ackland will have to roll a 1 or less. And he wants to get a reserve. He wants to have a reserve order. That's what he's trying to get. Okay. Oh, we rolled a 9, so that's not gonna go. He's not gonna get his reserve order. Okay, so now the British have to decide: do they want to act first? And I think they do, because they want to strike before the French can activate and get all their skirmishers out. Remember that they still haven't placed their skirmishers. So there's an opportunity here to take advantage of that and attack. So and they're wanting to put a lot of pressure over here on these guys. So they want to go first. So first thing we do is a recovery segment, which includes the rally phase, the cavalry recovery phase, artillery resupply phase. So first thing we do is we're going to go around and try to rally any units that have morale hits, or I guess morale states. So let's go over here. And we'll start with this cavalry unit right here. Okay, they have a morale of 35. They're shaken, so minus 10 to the die roll. 68 becomes 58. They pass. And so now they're disordered. They still can't perform any kind of charge. Okay. Now let's see about some of this infantry. Start here. $35. And I'm not for sure if they're disorganized whether or not they can have skirmishers. 35 minus 5. Just so we know who's going. Okay, 48 minus 5 is 43. So they are no longer disorganized. Okay, this unit, 36 minus 5 for being disorganized. All right, 44 minus 5 is 39. Okay, they're going to pass. Okay, this unit here, 39. rolled an 88, so they're going to pass. Okay. Okay. Right here where this artillery's at. 35 minus 5. I rolled a 41, which becomes a 36, so they barely passed. Okay. And then we pull back. We've got this SED. I rolled a 32 minus 5. It's going to be a 27. No, right, 27. They failed. So they stay as they are. This shaken unit, minus 10. Oh, 3 zeros. So they stay shaken. If he had been broken, he would go to rout. So, okay. That unit, 37, rolled a 6, so they stay disorganized. And then unit right there. Let's see what we got. 33. I rolled a 99. So of course they're gonna recover. Okay. There's no cavalry unit that has any spent markers, so we can skip that. And so we're ready to go to the fire segment right here. All right. And I guess we can start over here first. Got this unit. 3 hex range. 1, 2, 3. He can fire right there. This is a cavalry unit. So, I wonder if that rifle, that rifled 3 hex rifle is considered long range, and you have to subtract. I guess not. I was just curious about that. I haven't ever seen anything that stated that, so. Okay, so a strength of 2, and they're firing on cavalry, so that's a +1. All right. So we got a total strength of 3. 82. Okay. So we have a 3. 82 is more than 69 but less than 93, so we go back up to the 69. Morale minus 10. All right, so that unit already is disorganized. Disordered. So that's a minus 5. So we got a minus 15. Theron here has a morale bonus of 2. So that 15 will be a 13. Minus 13. Oh, I rolled a 28. That's a fail. So they will now become shaken. Okay. Next, we have this artillery piece here. I think they're going to hold their fire. They're not going to fire. We do have this gun here. They could fire. At either one of those. This one looks like he's in column. I think he should have been. I think he was in. Yeah, he was in line. Okay, this one's shaken. We could get him broken. Force him back. So let's go to that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 though is still effective range. So it'll be a strength of 1 plus 1 for cavalry. Strength of 2. 47. That's not going to be effective. So strength of 2, we rolled a 47. It's less than 50. So it goes back to where 31 is. Any is not effective. So, all right. Now, let's see. This SED doesn't have anyone close enough. This one does. But, of course, he is disordered. But he's going to fire here. At this artillery. There's this 4 there. But it's artillery alone. So let's get a little closer so we can see numbers. All right, so that SED who disordered has a 2, the pink box. That's his rifle fire. So he's got a 2. The thing is, he's probably better off not firing at unlimbered artillery alone because his strength is just going to end up being a 0. And he'd have to roll really high to get any result. He's better off firing at this cavalry here. That's what he'll do. He'll end up with a 2 strength. I rolled 3 zeros. Okay. All right. He could have also fired over here, But, okay, so we've got the skirmisher here. He has a range of 2, so he can fire here. And they've got a skirmisher, but they've got a overall strength, SP strength of 10, and they're in column. So, skirmisher fire strength is 1. Okay, the skirmisher being there brings it to a 0. So, however, the target is in column, so that's +1, and they have 8 to 11 strength points, so that's a +1. So they're back up to 2, strength of 2. Oh, a 94. Okay, so a 94 under 2 is less than 98, more than 84. So it's going to be a morale check -10. Okay, they are shaken. So now it's a morale check of -20. See, this is where I wonder, are you able to have skirmishers even though you are in those morale states? I would think you would have to be in normal morale state. See, there's no mention of a morale state. Are you still able to have skirmishers when you're broken or routed? Okay, that's where, oh, there's disorder checks. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe somebody that has come across this could help out by throwing a comment out. I know when you take losses, of course, you could lose your skirmish ability, and then of course the skirmishers are removed. But what happens if you take morale hits? Maybe I just haven't seen it. I read right over it. Well, where are the morale states? Should be, the morale state should be here. I'm not. I would think, okay, if you break, of course, when you're shaking, you got to move back, which of course your skirmishers can move back with you. But when you are broken or routed, you get to keep your skirmishers. You know, I've looked at the information here. So it doesn't say anything about disorder units. I'm looking here on page well, it's Rule 8.3 disorder. And it doesn't say anything about having to remove your skirmishers. Shaken, same thing. But there's no mention about what happens with your skirmishers. So I guess that's a question for somebody to discover the answer to. All right, so they've got a roll now. Minus 20. They've got a 40. Roll a 32. So they are going to break. And they will end up moving. I'll take the skirmisher away. Gotta go dig out a broken. I think there's another shaken. I have a hard time finding the broken ones, the broken and the routed ones. There's one. Okay, now here is a lesson to learn concerning stacking. You stack 2 battalions and they break, are forced to break. Both battalions are broken. And you get no benefit out of stacking. Really, that unit should be throwing out an SCD or something. Well, no, they can throw out 1. Why do they have a strength of 3? Maybe because they can throw out 3, but it says 1 there. But their fire strength is 3. So I guess they can throw out 1 skirmisher with a strength of 3. So I guess maybe I've been looking at that wrong. Yeah, okay. So both of those are not being used properly. So they are going to move there. That's 1, 2, 3, right back to there. And of course, now this unit, those two guys, battalions, have to roll due to the fact that they had a broken unit roll through them. 90, they're going to pass. Okay. All right, so now here, this SED is going to fire on this unit here, who's in column, infantry. All right, so we've got a strength of 2. Infantry in column +1. Okay. So now they're at 3, strength of 3. All right. Strength of 3. 20 is no effect. So no benefit there. All right, so this artillery okay, so he's not able to fire on this guy or this guy. If I was to lay it down like so, he could fire here, but not these two, and not this one, but he can fire there. So, yeah, he's going to fire here because it's going to be under flank. It's enfilade, flanking fire. They've got a strength of 7. That's not going to be a bonus, but they do get to fire in their flank, which is going to be a +2. So that's going to be strength of 4. And that is in column. So that's +1 more, that's 5. Strength of 5. 32 is going to be a morale hit. So morale is 33. They rolled a 6, so they're going to be disordered. Okay. We got a skirmisher here. I guess they're fire here. They're shaken, but they have a skirmisher. And that skirmisher, instead of being SK1, it should be SK2, because that's their fire strength. Okay, so strength of 1 becomes a 0 because of that, but it becomes a +1 because he's in column. So a 1. 33, it's no effect. Okay. This one will do the same thing. He'll fire on the same one. He's got strength of 2, -1 because of the skirmisher, so he's at 1, +1 for column. So back to 2. 60. That's going to be a morale check. So he's at -10. And I rolled a 9. So he is going to break. Let's remove the skirmisher. And see if I can find another broken. I don't think there's enough broken routed markers. I don't have any more. Yeah. The thing is, if I put a pink one out there, then I confuse it with being a British unit. So I'm kind of in a dilemma here. I guess the thing is, if I use it for the branch, then if the British need them, then they don't have them. I guess what I'll do is I'll put one of these black squares on him. One. Ooh. He can't go. Well, he can go this way. This cavalry unit can't move. I guess he's going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, which forces this unit, Delaborde, to make this unit pass a brow check. They get a +8. 39 plus 8, he's going to pass. Okay. Okay. All right, so now we have this artillery unit that right here is going to fire. They got a strength of 2. I guess they're just going to fire right here at this guy. Okay, range is 3. He didn't call him. Strength of 2 plus 1 3. Ooh, a 96. That's gonna be. Ooh. Okay, so a 3 with a 96. Oh, almost. Almost got him step loss. So he has to go back up from 98 to 93, which is morale minus 15. And he's already got a minus 10 because he's shaken. So he's going to be at minus 25. Looks like we'll have another broke unit. Yep, roll a 31. He's broke. All right, so of course, again, I don't have any more broke markers. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to land right with Huno. Okay, so this artillery unit there has to make another morale check. Okay, they got a minus 5 for being disordered. 87 they pass. So, all right. Let's see here. Okay, so this skirmisher only has a range of 2. They don't have anybody within their range. The only one that does is this SED here. Okay, strength of 2. He's going to fire right there. So he's firing into his flank. So that's plus 2. He's in column, that's plus 3. So he's going to have strength of 5. Firing. Oh, a 7. No effect. Okay. Out of range. Okay, over here, this unit is firing here. They're at within his range. He's got a strength of 5. He's in line, so there's no other modifier. 39. He'll have to do a morale check. So 36. Rolled a 42, he passed. And then here, we've got this skirmisher. He's going to fire here. We'll just go over there. Okay. So that skirmisher, strength of 1. Okay. 39, no effect. This skirmisher is too far away. This one does reach 1, 2. So again, just strength of 1. 16 is no effect. All right. Now, I believe that your own troops are going to block your ability to fire on units. So this SED back here would not be able to fire through these guys to get here, even though he's got skirmishers out. So that's not going to be possible. And so now that ends the fire segment. And now we would go to the opposing player or opposing army. And we go to the artillery fire segment. I do have an artillery gun here, but he has all these units that are blocking his line of sight. So not going to be able to fire on anyone there with that unit. Okay, so let's go to the French artillery. We've got this battery here firing at this cavalry who's disorganized. One, two, three range, so they're not canister anymore. So they've got a strength of 2. They are firing at cavalry, so that's +1. Oh, an 8. At 3 is no effect. All right. And then this other artillery unit, the strength of 4, they're disorganized, disordered. So they have a strength of 4, -1 is 3. Firing on cavalry is +1, so they're back up to 4. And they get a 95. And a 95 is almost a step loss. But so they're going to go up to a morale -15. They're at a -5 with being disordered. So it's going to be -20. Roll to 31, so they will go back to being shaken. And they have to move back again. This is all they've got to go right there. All right. Okay, let's find their other artillery units. I don't know, did we have a low ammo result? I don't recall. I don't remember what the roll that artillery had. Um, all right, so these two units. Let's see here. I think they're going to rotate to there because they want to fire right here at these guys. They do have a skirmisher. They're going to have a strength of 4 minus 1 for the skirmisher is a 3. Strength of 3. 95. That's going to be morale minus 15. So they have a 37. I rolled a 6. So they're disordered. Okay. And that's all of that. Okay. So now we go into the movement segment, attack order phase. And so we want to focus primarily on, this right here. All right. Get some of these out. Now, with this unit here, so this is where we're going to start. This is where our attack order is with Anstruther. That unit there, if they want to assault, see, they're adjacent. Assault adjacent is a minus 20 to the assaulting unit's morale check. So I think they're better off not think they're better off waiting or just holding their ground and let the assaults or the attacks come from another location. Okay, so this guy crosses the major or minor river here. It's going to cost 4. They're in command, but they're in line. So they have a normal movement of 6, but in line, for each movement point extended over 4, it's -5 for the disorder check. And of course, they're going to have a -10 because they had a hexite obstacle. Because it's going to cost them 5 to move into there. So maybe they hold their ground and let these other 2 guys move in. So yeah, I think they're going to do that. All right, so he's going to stay where he's at. And Strother doesn't really provide too much of a bonus. So we've got the 52nd, the 2nd Battalion, 1, and then 2. Of course, they were assaulting. So they get an assault here, and they're going here. This guy, he's only got a 3. What we got back here? A 3 and a 4. We'll let the 4 move up. 97th. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And he's assaulting, of course. And this guy needs to get this cavalry out of the way. They're in the way. Okay. All right, he'll move to here. Get out skirmisher. This artillery, okay, is in the road column, so that's 1. I think over the bridge. I think cost 1. No, it actually costs 3. No, didn't cost anything. Okay. So, moving along the road only cost half. Of course, the contour line cost 1. So, okay. All right, so half. 1 plus the contour is 2. And then 3. 3.5 turns. No, can't turn. Got that calorie right there. I can't go with can be in there with Calvary. What we actually do is move in here with this infantry, but it's going to cost, let's see, to unlimber 2. So let's see, that was 1, or no, half. 1, 2. Okay, this would be 3. To move there, 3. Actually, he's moving back down. No, I guess not. 3, 4, 5 to unlimber. Of course, he's got to pass a morale check, but he's going to move to the front. I mean, the skirmisher's got to go away. And a morale check. 55, he passed. Okay. So no one else there is going to move. Okay. So now let's go to the other group that's attacking. As attack orders, that's Ferguson's group. This is bows. This is not. What do we got here? Oh, was he facing this way? I think he was facing that way. But the guns are facing this way. Okay. So this guy. So 1, 2. Of course, he's assaulting. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's assaulting this guy. And this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, he's assaulting as well. He's assaulting there. this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now he's got to make a morale check because he moved more than his more than 4. He used more than 4 movement points. Ooh, he rolled a 12, so he becomes disordered. And as he moves in there, this artillery can fire. So they are firing 4. That's a reaction fire. Disordered and shaken. I mean, with a skirmisher. So strength of 4. Canister is +3. So that's a strength of 7. -1 for the skirmisher. So strength of 6. 82. Morale check -15. Minus the 5 is -20. 50 minus 20 is 30. So they will become shaken. And they're forced back. Okay. We might as well use this opportunity to move our artillery up. So we gotta back up. Okay. So this unit here I think he's going to move over. This one's going to move up to there. These guns are going to cost, it costs 4 to limber, and then they have to pass the morale. 75 they passed. So that's 4, 5, and that's as far as they can go. So these guys will move through. So that's 1, 2, 3. They're going to stop there with Ferguson right there. Okay, so they're done. And so now we're moving all of the out of command units. So they have a movement of only half. These guys, of course, that's 1, 2, and that's as far as they can go. And they're just going to stay, I guess, right there. So let's see, that's going to be, let's see, move to here, that's 1, 2. That's as far as they can go. These guys move into the stream and take a morale check. 20, they become disordered. Okay. All right, here. These guys are just going to turn and face this way. This guy's going to step out here. 1, 2. So that guy steps that way. These guys are going to turn this way. He'll turn this way. Gun still facing that way. He'll step out to there. This guy will move to here. So that was part of Ackland's. So Ackland is going to turn here and fill this void. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. This guy will turn in here, like so. This unit here will turn and move back up here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he can only move 3. So he'll have to stop right there. This guy will turn 1, 2, 3. He goes back to there. He moves to there. This guy's going to move here and turn here and turn here and here. All right. So that takes care of the movement. Now, I don't have a reserve move or order, so we just go back over to here. Oops. And take care of these assaults. I believe he was facing that way. These guys are in line. This guy's in column. This guy back here's in column. Okay. So we're going to start with the attack here on this guy. So I'm going to start with this assault. We've got a skirmisher. Right there. So we check for the assaulting stack, the attacker, morale. So they've got a 36. Oh, I rolled a 4. So they're disordered. Okay, the defender makes a morale check. Okay, so we don't have any modifiers. They've got a 36. I rolled a 1, so they become disordered. Okay. All right, so now we've removed skirmishers, which is only going to be these guys. Okay. The defender has a fire strength of 3. They're in column. I mean in line. They've got a -1. So that's going to bring them to a 2. So they're going to have a fire strength of 2. $55 is going to be a morale check for the attacker. The morale check, they have a -5. They rolled a 9. So they are going to be shaken and forced back. Well, wait a minute. No, this is defensive fire. So we have to look at this. MC caused by offense defensive fire -20. Okay, if they fail their morale check, they lose 2 morale levels. So they're going to become broken. And they're going to have to retreat 3 hexes. So let's pull back so we know where they're going to go. All right. So they're now broken. So they go 1, 2, 3. And that means this unit here, this unit, has to do a morale check. 84 they passed. So, all right. That should be that on this guy. Doing the wrong one. Okay. So now we go to this one. Okay. And he's being attacked by 2 units here. We've got 2 assaults. This one has got skirmishers. And then this one who's got skirmishers. So both of these guys, both of them are attacking. So we got a morale of 36. Okay, so we check the attacker morale. So we'll check the 39 first. I got a 17. So they become disordered. The other one, 35, got a 40, so he passed. That battalion passed. Now the defender has to check. Okay, so we look here. Each assaulting hex over the first. So that's minus 10. Okay, assaulted from a flank hex, minus 20. So now they're at minus 30. They didn't have any SK markers, and this doesn't apply here. So we're at minus 30. Okay. $27, so they're going to be disordered. All right. So the only unit that they can do any kind of fire against is in their front hex, which is this unit. So that's where the defensive fire is going to go. All right. Skirmishers are removed. All right. What's going on here? So we have the defensive fire. So they have a strength of 3, but they're disordered, so minus 1, so they're at 2. Okay, so they've got a strength of 2. 54. That's going to cause a morale check. So the British unit, which is this unit here, okay, has minus 20 because of the defensive fire. Because it's defensive fire, so that's minus 20. they're disordered, so minus 5 more, so minus 25. 72. I think they're going to pass. Minus 25. Yeah, that's going to be, let's see, minus 25. So that's 52 minus 5 is 47, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so they're going to pass. All right. So now we have the offensive fire. We'll go with this one first. They have a strength of 6 into their flank. So they also get +2 for well-directed fire because they passed their morale. So now they're at 8. They're firing into the flank, so that's +2. So now they're at 10, and that's it. 10. 50. It's going to be morale check minus 10. So it's offensive fire. So now that's 30, which is plus or minus 20 for offensive fire. So it's minus 30, and then they're disordered, so minus 5 more, minus 35. And 23 is going to be, they're going to be shaken. So they're going to have to fall back. Okay, so they move back to here, become shaken. And as he's leaving, he gets fired on by these guys. They only have a strength of 1. But I don't know that they would be able to fire because they're being assaulted. So, alright, so he moves in. This guy has to move in. And they're going to end up being disordered. And then they can follow on. They can have a follow-on assault. Why not? Okay. So they're going to go ahead and do a follow-on assault on the same guy. So they are disordered. This guy is shaken. Okay, so the attacker has to check morale. They have a minus 5. Ooh, I rolled a 17, so they fail. So now they are going to be forced to move back. And that shaken unit can fire on them. So they become shaken and forced back. This unit Okay, even though they're shaken, you can fire on them. They have a strength of 3, -1 for being shaken, so strength of 2. 45. That's going to be a morale check. So they got to do a morale check -10. 84 they passed. Okay. Alright, so now we have this assault. Right there. Okay. Alright, so let's move this back. There we go. We can see what's what here. Alright. That morale check, let's see. Okay, there it is. Okay, so the attacker has a 37. 44, they passed. Now, the defender, okay, is being assaulted from their flank, so -20. Rolled a 4, so they're going to be disordered. The defender. Okay. Which means they do not get well-directed fire. And since they're in column, they just get a 1. -1. Of course, we got to remove the skirmishers. So it's a 0. Strength of 0. 65. That's going to be no effect. Okay, now offensive fire. They have 5 into their flank +2, so that's 7. And they're in columns, that's 8. 18 is going to be a morale check. So morale check, and they've got -5. And they rolled a 7. So they're going to become shaken. And they're going to move through this unit here and end up there. So now they have to do a morale check. So 33, and they get a +1. 55, they passed. And they have to move in, and they're disordered, and they get fired on. Because well, let's see, maybe not. They were pointing, let's see. Well, no, they can actually turn like that and fire. So they're going to be able to fire on these guys. Alright, so we have a strength of 4. Canister is +3, so that's 7. Okay. Strength of 7. 39 is going to be a morale check -10. So minus 5 more. So that's 15. 40. They're going to fail, which means they are shaken and have to fall back. So they fall back to there. And that ends the assaults. Of course, we didn't have any cavalry charges. So they had a little bit of success. They did push some of the French back, but then they got pushed back when they tried to do follow-on charges, or ended up in the sights of an artillery battery. So I'm going to stop right there, and we'll pick up with, of course, what do we got left here? Let's see. Well, it'd be the second player turn, which would be the French turn. So that's a good place to stop. And those blocks are just the units that have are broken. So we've got attack orders here with Magallaron, Loisson has attack orders, and Delaborte has attack orders. And that's where we'll be on the next video. Come back and see what happens.